For the functions shown, we want to find any places where there are infinite limits, where there are limits at infinity, and where there are asymptotes, and kind of think about all three of these ideas. So let's first start with the infinite limits. So a place where there's an infinite limit essentially means that as we go to compute the limit is approaching infinity. So we see right here when x equal -1 that in fact as we approach from either side we are heading towards infinity. So x equal -1 has an infinite limit. Now let's look what's going on at x equal 2. As we approach from the right hand side, we're approaching infinity. As we approach from the left hand side though, we are approaching negative infinity. And so the right hand limit at 2 is infinity, an infinite limit. The left hand limit at 2 is an infinite limit, it's negative infinity, but the limit as x approaches 2 does not exist because the left hand limit did not equal the right hand limit. Now let's look at limits at infinity. So this means as x approaches infinity or negative infinity, we want to see what this function is doing. So first we look as x approaches infinity, and as we move off and x would get larger and larger, we see that we are approaching a function value of 4. So 4 is the limit as x approaches infinity. However, if x approaches negative infinity, we see that we're approaching a function value of 2. Now the last thing we want to do is talk about asymptotes, and these asymptotes are going to occur, verticals are going to occur at places where there are infinite limits, and horizontals are going to occur for limits at infinity. So that kind of ties our two ideas together. So we have a vertical asymptote at -1, and we saw at -1 the limit as x approached -1 was infinity. We actually have another vertical asymptote at 2 because even though the limit didn't exist at 2, the right-hand limit approached infinity, the left-hand limit approached negative infinity, so we have a vertical asymptote there. Then we have a horizontal asymptote at y equal 4 because as x approached infinity, we were approaching that value of y equal 4. And finally, we have a horizontal asymptote at y equal 2 because as x approached negative infinity, we approached that value of 2.